Draft day mysteries in the NFL can take decades to fully understand, which is why to this day, folks are still wondering what happened to Brady Quinn in 2007. Why the heck did teams who promised to pick Quinn suddenly have a change of heart? Even though 255 men were drafted to NFL rosters in 2007, there was and is no bigger story than that of Brady Quinn, to the point that he is still asked for his take on the whole incident over 15 years later. To some, Brady was a player in the wrong place at the wrong time, and to others, he is the victim of professional scouts, lying and wanting him to be something he wasn't. So how do you go from one of the most accomplished players in college football to one waiting desperately for your name to get called? Seriously, what the heck went wrong? What did the league not see that the fans did? Before we dive in, hit that thumbs up icon to show us some support, and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Now, with the 22nd pick in the draft, we take Brady Quinn. Come on, and let's go find out.
What happened?
The dangers of being the people's champ. Whether you're a fan of football or not, Brady Quinn just looks like a quarterback with the thick, long, dark hair and the strong jaw. Brady Quinn looked just like any of the movie stars portraying football players over the years. And it didn't hurt that he played for the classic Notre Dame either. Despite all of that though, Brady was never going to go first, no. That honor was always going to be saved for Jamarcus Russell, who had just walloped Brady and his team a few months back. Jamarcus was who the NFL loved at the time, but that made Brady Quinn fans love him even more. While Jamarcus Russell may have been the bigger, stronger, and could possibly throw farther quarterback, America loves an underdog, especially one as talented and cute as Brady Quinn. What is hard to describe about that night in 2007 is the feeling of destiny, of everything coming together in the most perfect way. And with Jamarcus Russell off the board, Brady was the logical next selection. I mean, seriously, it looked like that. Quinn had broken just about every record you could break at Notre Dame, widely considered to be the number 2 back in the draft. And better still, the team with the number 2 pick, Detroit Lions. Well boy, could they use a QB like Brady Quinn. You could feel the excitement in that room of Brady's destiny coming true. And with the second pick in the 2007 draft, the Detroit Lions pick somebody else. The NFL stubbornness. The room was stunned. A wide receiver, really? How could the Lions pick anybody but Brady with the second overall pick? If you were there that night or watched on TV, you could feel the air get sucked out of the room. Just watching Calvin Johnson putting on that Lions cap and jersey instead of Brady Quinn. NFL commentators in attendance questioned the pick almost immediately. So why the sudden change? What was going through the heads of NFL teams to pass up on someone with so much potential? The reality is still a bitter pill for Brady to swallow to this day. So basically every team who needed a QB had met with Brady before the draft. But those meetings, however, were pretty weird, according to Quinn, who spoke about it years later. While NFL reporters and insiders assumed the teams were vetting Brady to see if he was a good pick for their team, it turned out a good many of them were just wasting his time. Brady even told a story about how one team who had invited him to their team facility only wanted him to tell stories from his glory days. Talk about how he set the NFL record for most bench press reps by a quarterback at the combine. So the hype around Brady grew outside of NFL walls, but inside of them, he was being treated pretty bad. Of course, I must say Calvin Johnson turned into a Hall of Famer, so maybe the Lions knew what they were doing. All right, moving on to the third overall pick. On the clock, we have the pitiful Cleveland Browns. They always need a quarterback, we got it here. Wait, what? They picked an offensive lineman. What quarterback are they gonna protect? So now you could tell Brady was slumping deeper and deeper into his chair. And soon, 8 teams had made their picks, none of them choosing Brady Quinn. The tension was rising in the air as Miami began to make their selection. For Brady, who was supposed to be a top 10 pick, this was his best chance at salvaging his night. The Miami Dolphins were the last team for a while who truly needed a QB. And now Miami is ready to make their selection with the 9th overall pick in the draft. The Miami Dolphins select someone else. The Ohio State's Ted Ginn Jr., another frickin' wide receiver. And look, okay, he caught 10 touchdown passes in 2015 for Carolina, that's good. But still, not a top 2 quarterback. The pride before the fall. Pick after pick came off the board and Brady didn't move a muscle. But a lot of credit goes to him for remaining positive and supportive. In the NFL draft, there is a place called a green room where they let all of the top selections sit and wait to be drafted. But by the end, Brady and his family were all alone as they continued to wait for anybody to call his name. Just where were all the teams who claimed to love him? It seemed like they suddenly turned their backs on Brady Quinn. But why? Well, Brady and his family had plenty of time to think about that, as 4 hours had now passed from the start of the draft. To answer that question, we have to first look at the elephant in the room. Brady's senior year at Notre Dame. The thing that turned NFL teams against the All-American. In Brady's senior year, he had plenty of chances to prove that he was the guy fans had made him out to be. But in those clutch moments, Brady had failed to live up to the hype, and he struggled to perform in the very big games. That's what made teams second-guess him on draft night. It's what fans refused to acknowledge. In the NFL's eyes, Brady was a risk, and not one they wanted to put their jobs on the line for. To the NFL, Brady's legion of fans was a double-edged sword, and it was now starting to drag Brady down too. 20 teams have now made their selections, none of them willing to take a chance on the great quarterback Brady Quinn. Suddenly the phone rang, and Brady and his family prayed they were finally done with this public embarrassment. It was the Ravens, a team who Brady had actually hoped to play for, calling to tell him they were going to try and trade up to get him with the 23rd pick. Quinn was thrilled, as he would not only be saved from this situation, but he was also joining a team with everything he needed to thrive at the highest level. Things were finally looking up for Brady Quinn. The wait is over. Brady Quinn spent almost 10 minutes on the phone talking to Baltimore, which is what makes the next part so confusing. Because with the 22nd pick in the draft, just one selection before Baltimore, Brady Quinn finally heard his name, being chosen by the Cleveland Browns, the same team who had passed on Brady earlier in the night. They too had traded up to get him with the 22nd pick. For fans of Brady, this was both great and pretty awful news. You see, Cleveland has been known for chewing QBs up and spitting them out for what seems like decades. Could Brady Quinn actually change anything? I mean, at least Brady was finally on a team and free to show off his skills, as one of the most miserable draft experiences was finally coming to a close, and a wave of excitement could be felt from fans of Cleveland and Brady alike. Quinn then signed a 5-year deal with the Browns worth a reported $20 million. He made his official NFL debut in the Browns' final game of the season against the Niners. He went 3 for 8 in passing and led the Browns to a field goal. The next year, people thought the Browns would move Derek Anderson so Quinn could start. Well, he wasn't. But after a mediocre 3-5 start, head coach Romeo Crennel named Quinn the starting quarterback. And though he played well and helped the Browns build a 2-touchdown lead, the Broncos rallied back to win, causing Quinn's first official start to end in a loss. However, he went on to win the next game against the Bills, but he broke his right index finger. And though he tried to play through it during the next game against the Texans, he announced that he would have surgery, ending his 2008 season. Now, the 2009 season had he and Derek Anderson basically fighting for the chance to lose the game for the Browns. And on March 14, 2010, Brady Quinn was traded to the Denver Broncos in exchange for Peyton Hillis. In 2 seasons for the Broncos, Brady Quinn did not play in any games. Then the Chiefs, Seahawks, Jets, Rams, and Dolphins followed. The guy barely ever played. And by 2015, Brady Quinn was trying out again at the NFL Veteran Combine. The career that started out so bumpy never really found a paved road. And so the Brady Quinn NFL saga ended. Does anyone out there remember watching that 2007 NFL draft, feeling the tension in that green room with every pick that wasn't Brady Quinn? Any Browns fans out there think that Brady was going to be good? And any Notre Dame fans remember him fondly? Get in the comments and tell me all things Brady Quinn. Before you head to the exits, please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to our channel and come back often so we can keep telling you what happened.
What